come home from work and pull up in your yard and you got a family and a 5, and you're looking at this house that was, was home. It was a scary moment thinking you're going to lose it. And then where do you go from here?
Housing Education Alliance is a HUD-certified housing counseling agency helping families like the Sheltons avoid foreclosure. The agency helps clients seek solutions through mortgage loan modifications, principal reductions, and financial assistance programs to help them get back on their feet. It also provides the best home buyer education and counseling available.
Buying a home is a very emotional thing. Logic does not take a role in our choice.
In fact, studies show that people who take a HUD-certified homebuyer education class are 35% less likely to become victims of foreclosure.
We believe that had we done a better job as a country of educating these people who are just getting into the homebuyer market, we probably would have had a less effect from the foreclosure crisis.
I have a 4-year degree. This, I took finance and everything else. This course should be a requirement for everyone wanting to purchase a house, no matter what their background is. Yeah, this organization, we could have done it without them, period.
With the help of HEA, the Sheltons avoided foreclosure, received a loan modification, and principal reduction. Debbie Percival understands the foreclosure crisis. In fact, she's both benefited and suffered from it. She bought her dream home on a short sale, not imagining just 2 years later she would find herself unable to pay the bills after losing her job and an $80,000 a year income.
So I contacted my mortgage company, who told me that I was in good standing and I didn't qualify. I had to miss 2 payments. And I did that, and then I applied, and that went on for 6 months.
6 months turned into a year of calling the bank and other agencies, desperate to work out an arrangement. Then a foreclosure notice arrived.
I decided I was going to fight. I was not going to give up like that.
An attorney told her about Housing Education Alliance. She attended an HEA course and after counseling received a loan modification and now is approved for financial assistance to bring her mortgage current.
They can get anywhere between $18,000 and $25,000 to help get their mortgage caught up, and could receive up to a year of mortgage payments, up to a maximum of $24,000, to give them some time to find a better job or to get some more income, which is, like I said, the main reason that most people are finding themselves in foreclosure right now.
There are literally millions of dollars available to help people like Debbie, LaShonda, and Cara Lee to get back on their feet. And it's money you don't have to pay back.
I was driving a truck and I physically was unable to continue driving the truck. So I had to come home, and I didn't have any job. I couldn't find anything because I had been doing truck driving for so long.
But quitting was not an option. With her 15-year-old son by her side, she immediately went looking for answers.
I was used to making somewhere around $50,000 a year, and all of a sudden you pull the plug. It's like, what do you do? Where does the money come from, and how do you live down there?
LaShonda O'Neill also lost her longtime position.
I went into a panic. I'm a single parent, so of course you always go into a panic when there's no income or you don't know where the income is going to come from. The loan modification didn't work out. They basically denied me because I was current on my mortgage. They stated that I needed to be behind in order for them to help me.
When the bank couldn't help, HEA stepped in. Both women are now approved for financial assistance to pay their mortgage payments over the next year.
I was just so happy to hear of the program, and I was so happy to hear when they accepted me. It was just beyond words. I couldn't believe it.
It meant everything, that I could keep my home and get on my feet and get back to where I was, but I have time to do it.
So what makes Housing Education Alliance better?
First of all, our services, foreclosure services, are 100% free. We have had many cases where they've worked with attorneys, or they've perhaps worked with others that were not HUD certified. They've lost thousands of dollars, and then when we get them, we're able to get a loan modification or work some kind of a workout for them that they were not able to do when they were paying.
Sylvia and Walter Walker, the Director of Education, even wrote a bilingual book guiding homeowners through the process of how to avoid foreclosure on their own. But this agency's experience runs deeper than education. It hit close to home when HEA's funding ran out in 2008.
I called a meeting of the staff and I told them that I was very sorry, that I appreciated everything that they had done because they really are committed, but that we had to shut our doors. Came in the next day. To my surprise, everybody was there. And I said, "Why are you here? Didn't you hear what I said yesterday? There's no money to pay you." And they refused to quit. They refused to stay home. Some of us became volunteers. Some of us took extremely drastic pay cuts. We got to feel the same pain that our clients felt, and I think that gave us a totally different perspective than maybe others that work in this realm. And but you know, there's something to be said about perseverance. And I tell you, you know, the people who work here, they're my family. Some of us lost our homes. So all of us were in some phase of the foreclosure process.
One of those employees was Linda Van Doren.
The worst part of it is knowing you're in a home that you love, that you've paid on and thought you were doing the right thing. Come to find out you're losing it.
Years later, the loss came full circle. Remember Debbie? She was the one that bought Linda's home on a short sale. And now HEA is helping to ensure Debbie can keep it.
If we can help somebody and we can see a smile on their face, tears in their eyes, because they kept something, it's all worth it.
Both women, client and counselor, credit lessons learned through the agency's homebuyer education course.
They come with an open mind, they learn, and they leave, and hopefully what they learn in the class, we don't expect them to be realtors or know everything, but at least we can alert them to some things to look out for should anything come up during their process.
The agency not only helps those at risk, but it also teaches new home buyers how to get it right the first time.
I learned a lot in regards to how to pay the mortgage on time and how to pay more of the principal, which would reduce the length of your mortgage, how to budget, which, you know, we've been renters all our lives, so we didn't really have anything like that in mind, so we didn't have any knowledge of that. We're doing our best to be responsible with, to be good stewards of what we have and not overstretch ourselves, because not only does that weigh on stress, but it weighs on the marriage.
We take it to heart, and I think we take it to heart because we've been there. We know what it feels like to be losing your home, and it is, I think it's probably one of the biggest tragedies that a family can face. The American dream is not dead. Homeownership is still the best way to go, but you gotta do it the right way. You can't listen to people, your grocer, your friend, your neighbor. You gotta go to experts. Don't listen to anyone other than experts. And the best thing to do is always start with a HUD-certified housing counseling agency, because we have no financial interest in the deal and we're not going to steer you wrong.